Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, July 20th. In our devotion for today, I want to continue with exploring the Psalms and learning how we worship God all throughout the week, not just on Sunday mornings. Today's psalm comes from Psalm 96, and it reads, Sing a new song to the Lord. Let the whole earth sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord, praise his name. Each day proclaim the good news that he saves. Publish his glorious deeds among the nations. Tell everyone about the amazing things he does. Great is the Lord, he is most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. The God of other nations are mere idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Honor and majesty surround him, strength and beauty fill his sanctuary. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the sea and everything in it shout his praise. Let the fields and their crops burst out with joy. Let the trees of the forest sing for joy. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Oftentimes when we think about our relationship with God, we're asking the question, what next? What am I supposed to do now? Sometimes we think about a relationship with God and we think, I wish I had some inside information, some kind of secret knowledge, some kind of glimpse of the future, so I know exactly what to do in order to prosper. Or we just want to be led by God. We want God to tell us, okay, today I want to work through you. Give me some instructions, God, some simple, flat out instructions that I can follow that make sense to me. So often we want information, we want next steps. Well, worship actually helps us in that manner. You see, one of the big components of worshiping is glorifying God. And we glorify God. When we do that, what we're doing is we're telling of who God is in order to paint an accurate image or picture in our mind or in our words in our song so that we can actually see figuratively who God is. So we can imagine, not just make things up, but that there's this picture, this image of who God is. When we glorify God, we're not trying to kind of earn bonus points in heaven by saying nice things about God so God will give us more blessings. We are glorifying God for our own benefit, not for God's benefit. Because as I said, when we glorify God, we see God more clearly. We form a true image of God. Now, when that happens, and when we really see a true image of God, of who God really is, well, it compels us to respond. Let me give you an example. Have you ever gotten just like a great gift from somebody, a thoughtful gift where they took time to think what could you really need at the moment, and then they give it to you with perfect timing, and you're just struck. The emotions fill your heart and your mind, and you're overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. And immediately you have to do something. If they're right there, you give them a hug, or you start to cry, or you say thank you, or you immediately want to go out and buy them a gift in return, right? When people give you that great gift, you have this image, this experience that they genuinely appreciate and love you. And it compels you to want to do something, doesn't it? You must respond deep down inside. You can't just let it slide. You got to do something. You got to respond to that. That's what glorifying God does. Is we do it for our own benefit, and as we glorify God, we paint this image or picture in our mind about who God is, a true image of God. And when we do it, it overwhelms us. We feel compelled to respond. Psalm 96 that I just read actually does that for us. It paints this image of who God is, the powerful and mighty God. Other things we worship are God are mere idols. They are nothing compared to the majesty of who God is. In fact, they've done nothing in our lives if we actually compare and list all the wondrous things God has done for us. As we sing or read or proclaim Psalm 96 in whatever way we want, it's a form of worship. We can recite it as a poem, and that's worship. But as we do this, we glorify God. It's a great example of how to glorify God. And then also there it's listed how it compels us to respond. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the sea and everything in it shout its praise. Let the fields and their crops burst out with joy. Let the trees of the forest sing for joy. How shaming is it to us when the crops and the fields and the forest and the mountains and the seas actually worship God louder than we do. That is shaming because God has done so much infinitely more for us. But yet the true image of God, is so powerful, so compelling that even those objects that don't normally voice things, they are going to be compelled to worship God. We are compelled in the same way when we see and encounter God. So today, as we glorify God, as we think and we praise, as we meditate, as we sing songs, as we paint pictures of who God really is, true pictures and images, let us shout for joy. Let us burst with joy and sing songs. Let us rejoice and let us allow that joy and that thankfulness and whatever emotions that come to the fore lead us in a response to God. Let our actions be seen as ways of giving joy, expressing joy and gratitude to God. There's so many ways that experience of the true glory of God can lead us throughout this week in giving joy, of shouting praise. Our response, our next step, can be simply responding to who God is. Amen. Amen. Today it's Monday. On Wednesday, we do have our collection drive. So between 8 and 5, check out our Facebook page for information on what specific items you can bring. But we are in the month of July collecting for a veterans drop-in organization as well as Alpine Academy. I also want to remind you that this month to the end of July, it's a great time to check out the Investing Kids Act. It's a great way for you to divert some of your tax dollars that you're already paying to the state of Illinois anyway towards a scholarship to Alpine Academy. And it's a great way to help a student who otherwise wouldn't be able to experience this life-changing education to do so. Contact the school, contact Scott Dapson if you want more information on how you can specifically divert your tax dollars paid to the state of Illinois to Alpine Academy. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and check in on those people who are most vulnerable. Amen.